Hello, good day. I'm sure you're doing great today. Welcome back to another session of our class on career and skill development. Last week we started with this course and were able to conceptualize career as well as career development, and we were able to discuss the fact that a career involves the course an individual wants to carry on in life in terms of his profession, in terms of the job or the roles he or she wants to play. We also made mention of career development as well as the stages of career development, how it begins from exploration to establishment to maturity and to decline. Today we'll continue from there, and we'll be taking it a step further. So, looking at it from the point of view of these learning objectives, we'll be talking about issues around still the career development we started with, and we'll be looking at the factors that determine career development. Basically, what are those factors that determine your career as an individual? Then looking at the components of career development, and also we'll try to understand the steps that are necessary for us to carry out when creating a career development plan. Now let's begin with, what are those factors that determine an individual's career? For you to choose a career, or for you to venture into a profession, or for you to continue in that profession all through your career life, what are those factors that bring about this? There are two major factors, and these are the organization where you work and you yourself as an individual, the employee. These are the two major factors that determine an individual's career. As we are discussing this course, I want you to just picture yourself in the course of our discussion. Number one, the organization where you work or the company where you work. Training and development by companies can help their workers to learn new skills, and from there they can develop career in that. The organization can send you on a training on IT, and of course you might like an aspect regarding payroll system. You can venture into it and match it with issues around HR. So companies help in providing leadership and management development, and this is all done through employee training sessions or career counseling. So don't forget, organizations have a role to play in determining individuals' career. Then also individuals, that's you as a person, you also have a say. You're also a factor in determining your career. You are the one that know what you want for yourself. And last week we said something about self-assessment and self-actualization. These two are functional to determining career. If there's no self-assessment in terms of what do you want for yourself, and also if there's no self-actualization in terms of what you want to achieve in the nearest future, then you can't succeed in the career. So you as a person, you definitely determine what you want for yourself. So individuals can themselves boost their own career. This is done through constant evaluation of their skills using techniques like continuous professional development. So you have a role to play. Apart from these two, there are other factors that determine an individual's career. For example, your personality as an employee, the person you are, your makeup in terms of your emotional, your psychological, and your mental state will determine the career choice you want to make for yourself. Somebody who is an introvert, who is very quiet, gentle, easygoing, cannot become a marketer, or cannot become a mass communicator, or cannot become a public relations officer. There are specific roles that go with, or specific careers that go with personality trait. So this is one factor. Secondly, education, completed training and courses. You look at yourself. Okay, I've done trainings, I've gone for workshops in certain aspects of, human endeavor. Let me venture into a career in that. Behavior and self-presentation. How do you see yourself? How do you carry yourself will determine your career as well. Job performance and evaluation of superior. Your performance at work over time can also tell your superior, okay, this is your stronghold, this is your strong point, these are your strengths. Then you can leverage on that to build a career in such areas. Apart from that, performed job position. You might assume a position, or you might have seconded somebody in a period of time, and of course might have performed well. Then you might feel, oh, this is actually good for me, let me venture into this. Company situation. At times companies can decide to merge or to go into acquisition, and in that process you assume new roles and take up new responsibilities, and of course you might see the need to carry on a career in that line. Then also we have willingness to change performed job or an employer. This is actually a personal issue. You might feel, oh, this job is not my fit, I'm not really suitable, I'm not really functional in this job I'm doing, let me have a change. Or my employer is actually not somebody I can work with, he has made me lose interest in this kind of job, let me look for another job. And of course in that regard you might decide to get into another career. So these and more are some of the major factors that determine individuals' career. But don't forget, we discussed earlier that the factors from the employer and also from the employee are the two major factors that determine an individual's career. We'll take it a step further from there and look at the components of career development. Components of career development program. When we are talking about career development program, we're talking about those deliberate actions that you take or that your organizations take to help you build your career. So there are some elements, there are some issues around this program that we need to really consider to better inform us of how well careers can be functional. The first one is looking at career counseling. Career counseling, I'm sure you are aware of the word counselor. Who is a counselor? Someone who is involved in counseling an individual. They also have proficiency in service training as another component. 3, career specialty training. 4, career ladder. 5, career center. And number 6, career mobility. So we'll be looking at these components one after the other and see how well they relate to career development program. Now we'll begin with career counseling. Like I said earlier, you know who a counselor is: somebody who guides an individual, who mentors, who gives advice, over an issue at a particular time. So with more and more diverse career options and professional opportunities emerging, most especially in our dynamic business environment, there's a need for counselors, and that's why career counseling helps individuals to make the right choice about their career path in terms of the line of career you want to follow, also about their career development and career change. So we all need a counselor in our lives to really inform us, because a counselor is like a mentor, somebody who has a good knowledge about the career, who is well informed about what we want to venture into, and he or she is going to give us a guide as to the path and the route to follow. In the process of counseling, this counselor will tell us the do's and don'ts, the opportunities and the areas that we can really leverage on as we're moving on in our career path. Career counselors help individuals with the task of self-assessment and self-analysis, because you need a career counselor to ask you the question: what actually do you like doing? What actually do you love to do? Have you really sat down to assess your personality in terms of will this career be suitable for you, it would ask you, okay, what are your goals in the next 5, 10, 15, or 20 years? All this would inform how well you'll be guided your career. Career counselors also then help you to match your aptitude, skill, and interest with the various job types that we have. Okay, you're going to tell your counselor, oh, I love reading, I love public speaking, I love, socializing and all that. Then you look at opportunities available in the labor market. Oh, this is actually what is going to be good for you. That's the role of a counselor. Like, you give advice, you give a sense of direction, you give guidelines as to how well you have to choose your career. Career counselors also help in identifying the various job options available, and they provide clarity on different job roles. Don't forget, a counselor is a mentor. He knows more about the job. He knows more about even you yourself. So he'll be able to match you and the job that you are planning to take. Secondly, we have proficiency in service training. Proficiency in service training is another component of a career development program. When we say proficiency in service training, is a professional training of staff development efforts where professionals are trained and they discuss their work with others in their peer group. These are people who come together. When we say proficiency, you're talking about your capability, what you are good at, what your strengths are, what you can do better than others. So people come together in a form of training to discuss these issues. They learn from one another, they share knowledge, they share experiences, and they learn from their problems. This benefits both the organization, that's your employer, and you, the employee, by keeping them up to date on duties and responsibilities within present job assignment. You have a job role, you have your job description in terms of the duties and the responsibilities expected of you while carrying out a task or doing a particular job. Then we're not just saying that proficiency in service training is about training and what have you. It will benefit not just you alone but the organization, because you're going to learn new skills, you learn new things about your job, and of course you will definitely transfer that to the work you are doing. And that is why, as you are transferring this work or this task or this skill to the job you are doing, it is going to be profiting the organization as a whole. Proficiency training subjects must consist of those elements of the training program that are indigenous to the organization and its operations. Every organization has needs. Every organization has areas they need to train their workers on, because where skills are lacking will determine the need analysis, and that will determine the kind of training that will be initiated. So proficiency in service training is job specific and generally limited to areas that are essential to the overall job functions. The essence of proficiency in service training is to ensure that people know more about the jobs they are doing currently, and that's why I said it is needed for you to carry out your specific job at the right time. Thirdly, we have career specialty training as another component. Career specialty training. Career specialty training provides employees with the opportunity to enhance their knowledge, their skills, and their abilities necessary to perform jobs beyond minimal level. When you say specialty training, we are looking at it from the point of view of specific training that is needed to carry out specific tasks, to make an individual specialized in the job roles they are doing or he or she is doing. That's the essence of career specialty training. You train an individual job holder based on the career or the job he's doing, and in the essence you want to make him a specialist. A specialist is somebody who has all-round information, all-round knowledge about a job. It also allows the employees the opportunity to explore new areas of interest and specialization that will enhance abilities and skills in other specialized jobs. Number 4, another component of career development program is career ladder. Career ladder. We all know what a ladder is. It is made up of series of steps that takes or that elevates an individual from a bottom position to a top position, or from the top down to a bottom position. When you say ladder in career, talking about how you move, your transition from a lower up onto a higher level. Take for instance, the managing director of an organization did not just wake up or leave university and he jumped there to become a managing director. It's never possible. He or she would have moved through the ranks. He or she would have taken up some job roles over a long period of time. And as you can see, as he or she is taking up that job roles, experiences will be gathered. He or she would gather experience. He or she would gather specific knowledge over a period of time and over different job functions that will make him suitable for future job roles. That's exactly what we mean by a career ladder. It's talking about the vertical growth of the employee in an organization, how you move majorly through promotion. Individuals are not expected to remain redundant. Even the world is changing. The business environment is dynamic. It is so complex that it is not static. So also do individuals need to move from one position to another. So it deals with your growth vertically in an organization. That is, the various positions an employee moves to as it grows in the organization. I gave you the instance of the managing director. Okay, it will start, like, for example, as an office assistant. From office assistant, it will become an office executive. From an office executive, it will become an admin assistant. From admin assistant to become like an admin executive. From admin executive, it becomes an admin manager. From admin manager, it becomes like operations manager. Then becomes the assistant general manager before he becomes a general manager. You see that he has taken up positions at different levels over a period of time. That's a career ladder. Most successful companies chalk out a career path or a career ladder for employees in order to provide them with a realistic picture of their position in the coming years in order to retain them. One way of employee retention, that is trying to make people stay in your organization, is by incorporating career ladder. In career ladder, you would identify the various job positions available for employees to make them get to the position they want to get to. And of course, you create that conducive climate and environment for them so that they would want to stay within the organization. Having a clear idea about future positions and job responsibilities, the employees and the company can work to identify areas where relevant training is required for the employee to build his competencies to fill future job requirements. I don't know if you've ever gone for an interview before and you've been asked, in the next 5, 10 or 15 years, where do you want to see yourself in this organization if we employ you? They are not just asking this question for the fun of it. They are asking to see how to position you well in your organization. So once they know your goal, you might tell them, oh, I want to become the managing director. Yes, it's achievable. They know this. and they would prepare you well to get to that position. Once you tell them this is what I want to be in the next, or where I want to be in the next couple of years, they will definitely look out for a career development program that would suit your goal or your career aspiration. In that process, they will retain you in the organization. 5. Career center. When we say center, we mean a place, somewhere, an institution where people go to acquire certain things or to get certain things. Now, in this context, when we mean career center, we are talking about institutions or places that help in capacity building. A career center, most especially, and the most popular career center we have all over the world, is our tertiary institution. For example, our universities, polytechnics, college of education, and technical colleges, and what have you. It is a center of experts who help individuals make informed career choices. In this center, you have experts you go to meet who will definitely tutor you, mentor you, or instruct you well about different career choices. A career center provides a variety of services like capacity building, skill enhancement, and making available different career options to choose from. Thank God you're a graduate. You've gone through the 4 walls of a tertiary institution. Now, take for instance, you studied accounting. In another level, you'll be introduced to introduction to, finance, introduction to banking, introduction to insurance, and what have you. And as you are moving from 100 to 3 to 400 level, what you'll be learning will now become more specific, as in the case in another level that was like more general. Now, in accounting, there are different aspects of career you can choose from. You have audits, you have tax, we have payroll administration, we have corporate finance, we have oil and gas accounting, we have different kinds of accounting that we can specialize in and build a career in. Same for management. You have insurance, you have human resource management, you have core business administration, you have so many of them. So these are centers where you learn these things and make informed career choices, because as you are chatting through your course in these career centers, you'll be learning about all those things, and of course you'll be identifying yourselves with the one that will best work for you. That's the essence of a career center. Number 6 is career mobility. Career mobility. When we say mobility, we mean movement. So career mobility refers to the movement of employees across grades and positions, and this could be upward or downward, or a complete change in occupation or in your career. So it refers to how you move from one job to another, how you move from one career to another, or how you move from one position to another, or how you move from one organization to another. In economics, labor is actually not fixed. It is actually a variable factor of production. And that is why our skill will determine how we move. So an employee may himself opt for career mobility because of potential or higher pay or better job roles in a new job or occupation. So your mobility could be as a result of your own choice. Some personal choices. It could be marriage. A woman who gets married and her husband stays in Port Harcourt or in Abuja or in Kano, of course you'll be forced to migrate or to leave. It could be as a result of the fact that you need better pay, better rewards, or better income. you want to change your economic status, then mobility can come in. And apart from this, it could also be as a result of what the organization imposes. Take, for instance, in cases where you have mergers, acquisitions, and restructuring, employees are forced to move or to change roles or to change jobs. Take, for instance, bank recapitalization that brought about margin or mergers and acquisition. Some bank employees had to leave to the public service or to other job because they know that their job is not secured, while some had to change from one bank to another. So this is exactly what career mobility means. That is how individuals move from one job function or from one role or from one organization to another. Now, the last objective for today is to look at the steps to create a career development plan. The steps involved in creating a career development plan. In career development, it begins with you as an individual, the employee. So it begins with you, the employee, because there's a need for you to carry out what we call a self-assessment. Self-assessment, you ask yourself these questions. Who am I? What do I want to achieve in the nearest future? Do I have the capability or the competence? Do I have the personality to achieve all these things? Do I have the skill? Am I competent to venture into this career? These are questions you need to ask. It also involves assessing your work environment. Am I in the right place? Have I chosen the right job or right career or profession? The third step is to determine whether there's a match, there's a correlation between you, what you want for yourself, and what the organization wants for you. What do you want? What does the organization want? There must be an alignment. There must be a synergy from these 2 points. If there is a divergence, definitely there will be chaos. That career would be chaotic and the employee will not be able to enjoy the job. And lastly, you must carry out an action plan outlining specific tasks that the employee will pursue to accomplish the established goals. Having seen that there's a synergy between your own preference and the preference of the organization, then what is the action plan? Now set targets, set goals for yourself. Okay, in the next couple of years, I want to be here. In the next couple of years, I want to have achieved this. In the next couple of years, I want to be here. So these are the action plan, and these are the things that would inform how you succeed in a career. So don't forget, it begins with you, the person, because if you are not fit for the job or for a career, there's no how the work can be palatable, and that is why it begins with you as an individual. We've come to the end of this session for this week. I'm sure you've learned 1 or 2 things. I want to appreciate you for your audience, and I would appreciate if you can send in your questions, and just like Mr. Abel said, you can drop your questions and comments on the group chat where we'll be able to answer them and also give you adequate feedback. Once again, thank you and have a good day.